Okay, so here a video on digitizing fonts with a satin stitch. I have seen quite a few people and they are having a hard time with the digitizing of text. So first what needs to be done is it takes a lot of planning. So what I'll zoom in fairly close here to this one. I just went and used the text tool and typed in a text, and now what I'll do is I'll in my objects panel, I got my objects panel in another window, so that's why you won't see it, and I have this text selected, and I will turn the opacity down. That way it becomes easier to work with in some ways. The visibility of your Bezier tool becomes a little easier, and you can set that opacity to pretty light as long as you can see the main outline of it. So now we have to make a planning. So what I will do now is I'll go and draw some stuff on here so that we get to see where we should be starting. So we have to make a decision here. Do we go underneath or do we want to have that showing over top? So I think we should start this letter H over here. So that would be number 1. Then what we want to do is go with a running stitch here to the top and then do this one as a second one, but we want to stop over here because then we're gonna go down and we're gonna go here. I'll go to the pen here, so that is first a satin over there, then I don't want the 4 in there yet. I'm just trying here a new thing with my I want to go to my pen. Oh, it still puts the numbers down. Okay, how do I switch it now? I gotta go to the pen. I think that is number 2. No, it's not working. Okay, I'll have to try that a little different. So yeah, then this becomes the 3rd satin. Then we create this centerpiece, so that becomes a 4. Then we go across all the way around with this one, so that becomes number 5. Here we start going, making a jump across, either with a running stitch or we can just let it have a jump, because we can create this one starting in the corner here, come all the way around, and then it would cover up the jump stitch. So that would become number 6. Then we come over here, we stop at this end, then we let it have another jump or a running stitch again, and we're gonna go and do the L all the way up to the P, so that becomes number 7. Then we go from here, we go make a running stitch to the top, and we start going down, so that becomes number 8, and Okay, it's not letting me. So that becomes number 8, and then we have, I should undo that last one there for a moment. I have to see yet how to make things bigger. Oh, some things, okay, there we go. So that was number 8, and I'll put that one here on top for 6. Undo. I need number 8. Okay, so we'll make the number 8. That is the one going down here. Then we get number 9. That becomes the main form of the P, and there too we have to split it over here almost to get a good connection onto this last little piece. So we would make that a number 9, and then we get 1 here on the bottom, and then we get 1 on the end yet. So we would end up in a total of 11 objects of a satin stitch. So I'll take off all the text now for a moment, and then we'll go and we'll start drawing. So then we go so then we start going with the Bezier tool, zoom in really close, that we have a good vision of our part, what we want to digitize. If you want to, you can have snapping on, depends how comfortable you feel with that. And so then we also have to decide where do we want to start. So where I'm starting to draw, that makes a difference on where the satin stitch is going to start and where it's going to finish. So I have snapping turned off, and now I have my 2 rails, and I'll go, and I like to have my line width all the way down, so when I make my adjustments, then the visibility, select that one, come on. So then I'm lining them up, and then I need to draw 1 more of the Bezier, or I should be okay because they both have the same amount of nodes, but I find it's easier almost to go and put 1 in just to make sure. And then what we'll do is we'll select them, go to the select tool, and then holding down the shift key, select that rail and select that rail, and then path, combine. And we can always make, like, we would want a little bit of an overlap going into underneath on that one. So okay, that is the first one then, and as you can see, you can see the direction arrows, and that is the way it would be stitching. So it would start stitching on this side, and then it would stitch that way, but we don't want that. We want that it is stitching starting on this end and working this way. So if you're making a mistake that way, that can be changed by going to path, and you go and reverse. How come only one? Only one did reverse there. Okay, now they are both reversed. Okay, as you can see now both rails have the arrow pointing this way. So now it will start stitching on this end and work this way. Then what we'll do is, I'm zooming out again so I can see the rest a little better. Now I go and draw a line, and I'm starting here on the bottom, and that is gonna be my running stitch. So I don't necessarily have to change the contour of it. That as long as I'm kinda running down the center, that's all I care about, and that I'm coming from A to B. So I'm not gonna go and fancify things right now, also for the purpose of the recording. So then we go to fill and stroke and change the stroke style and make that a dotted line. So that is all what is needed then for that one. Now we can go and start the next step. So now we want to start drawing here on the top, and start there, and try to make as few points as necessary. It becomes easier to work with, and for making adjustments too, that becomes quite easy. So now I'm gonna stop over here. I can give it a touch overlap. So there I have that one, and then I'll start right away the next one. And line them up with each other. At least that's what I like always doing. And then create the contour and enter. So now I'll go and change the line width, and now I'll go and drag my lines into place. If you want to drag them right away in the curves, that is up to you. That depends on how comfortable you feel with all your creating your lines. And so that is that one, and I'll select this one, and I'll go and adjust my lines. I'm not working really accurate maybe now, but that's only for video purpose. You can make all kinds of minor adjustments by going to the node and then start working with your handles. You can move them as accurate as you want. And okay, so now we have to go and make a few rungs. So we want to, and these rungs, they control the stitch direction. So if you want a change in stitch direction, then you create extra rungs to make the change in the stitch direction. And you can make as many as you want or as few as you want, but then you just run the simulator and then you can see how it turns, how they turn out, and then you can go and make adjustments. So now we have these are all in place. Now we go and select and shift, holding down the shift key, we selecting these rungs, and now we selecting the rails, and then we go path, combine. So there we have that one, and then we want to go and create a running stitch again. So we go back to the Bezier and we start. Let's see. Well, it doesn't really matter. That one stitched over here, so it'd probably be the best over there. And we'll go bring it to this corner and enter, and then we go stroke style, make that a dashed line again, and that's good to go. So then we want to start drawing here on the bottom again, and with these curves in here, you just have to watch a little bit on how fancy do you want to have your ends. You can make all kinds of adjustments. So there, I'm just gonna go create that one, and there, and there, enter, and we're gonna go put a cross rail, and I'm gonna go and put one there. Now we go and select them, or I could go and make minor adjustments in a curve over there, but I'll just leave it at this for now. Then select them, so shift select again, and select them, and then path, combine. Okay, so now we're gonna go and start the next one, and we don't need a running stitch in here. Oh, I see here on this rail I made a mistake. That one didn't go far enough, so it needs to be right into that corner there again. So then what I want is start right by over here and go that way. So then we'll grab that one there, enter, and this one, grab it, enter, make my adjustment for the curve, and then select that one, make a touch of a curve, and if they have the same amount of nodes, I don't have to worry about the rungs. So I could go and select both rails and combine them, but I'll go and put one in there anyway. And now I'll go and select them. Select, shift select, path, combine. So now we have that part, and now we want to go all the way around the H all the way up to the E over here. So then it is just a matter of, okay, we started over there, we want to end up over here. Now the nicest is if it ends up over here, that we start on the inside here again. So we could get a jump from this corner to that corner, but that will get covered up quite easy then with this one coming around the corner. So then if you're gonna start over there, and here too it depends a little bit on how you want to finish up this end. If you start right in the corner there and end up in the corner over here with the other rail, it may not give you a nice finish. So what I will do here is I will start a little bit in and first go straight there, and now I will go and make my contours. I'm not sure, it may give me an error, but I'll find out. If you're careful how you place everything, then it shouldn't be any problem. And there too, okay. Enter. So now I'll make right away an adjustment for a moment. I'll do this. And line these up. Okay. And then we go start the next one. We'll find out in a little bit if it's gonna give issues, but we'll find out. So now I just go and draw around the outside. And here I'm gonna go over there and enter, and now we'll go to the node select. So yeah, digitizing text is time consuming, but if you want to have good results, then you really have to go and make planning on where are you gonna start, where are you gonna end, to get everything in a good line, and that you have the right ones going over top and the right ones going underneath. So now we have to go and add some directional lines yet. So especially here on the end, because like I have that one all the way there, and this one I have going in a corner, because I want to have these stitches stitching all the way straight all the way to the end. If you want them in an angle here, well, that's up to you, but that can be done too. Then it is only a matter of this one ending up here, then you're gonna have the stitch angle is gonna be like this. But I like it to have the stitches all the way straight all the way up to that corner. So now I'll go and create a few of the rungs, and where I want to change the stitch direction, enter. And make sure that you go and cross both rails, otherwise you're gonna have problems too. And then well, it should be, yeah, that's probably gonna give me an issue. I'll put that one here, enter, and then I can always be changed. So now we go and select them. Then selection tool, select, and then path, combine. Okay, so let's now have a look and see how this works out. Then we go extension, ink stitch. We would first want to go and do the troubleshoot, and all shapes are valid. That is always an important part of checking that always first. And then go ink stitch and go to the params, and it's popping up in my other. So then on mine I still running an older version. Oh, I have to. I'm just making an adjustment here for a moment. So it may not look properly to start, and that is because it is satin stitch along the path. So as soon as I change that, now it should show me as you can see there is the H, and so yeah, there was a jump going there, but that is because we are working now with a satin. Quite often you first have to go and apply the settings to the satin, and then in the end, then later on you apply it to the running stitches, and then altogether it will work out fine. So I'll go and cancel this right now. So yeah, and also with your text, you want to make sure that if you want a contour underlay, that you go and check mark it. Now you can see there's a contour underlay, and if you want a zigzag underlay, you can also add a zigzag underlay. So okay, I'll quit this one and cancel that one. So yeah, there we had the whole H, and this way you just continue and creating all your satin lines, and also you can check. Let's do that once more through the params. And I'll go and change that setting. And if you like here on the bottom corner, you can see how many stitches per second. So if you really slow that down, then you can see where it starts on the rail and where it ends on each rail. And you can pause it and start, so you can see. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and as you can see here, the stitch angles are changing, and You can change that by changing your rungs on how they are crossing the two rails if you want to make adjustments. And there you can see now we're coming to where it's going across each other. So there you can give it a little bit of a, this one could come maybe a hair more underneath of that one, because you always have some push and pull, and that could create a touch of an opening. So that's why you would want create a touch of an overlap. And as you can see, then so now if you're zooming in really close, you can see that it finished up over here on the inside rail. And if you want to have more detail, all you can do is you can go steps back. You can just like that, and you can go and move the play button here and see. So now we stop over there, and one step at a time, you go back one stitch at a time, so you can see exactly where it ends up and where it starts. And if there are things and it starts on the wrong rail, then what you can also do is you apply the params, and once the params are applied, then go extension, ink stitch, satin tools, and flip the satin column rails. So, and then it will start on the opposite rail. Okay, I hope this video is going to be helpful for you. So yeah, the main part is make your planning first, how you go about it. And thanks for watching. If anybody needs more help, feel free to contact. Okay then, bye for now and have fun.